people are relieved, they take a breath, it's, oh, okay, it's not the end of the world, we'll be all right, and we have to think about it for a while. Well, now's the time to think about it, like you said. And this is also a good time of year to think about it because you've been through your taxes, you know a little bit more about your situation. We tend to get a little more educated around tax season because we've gone through all of our stuff. It really is a good time to look through it again.
It is a very good time because you can actually put more money into annuities than you can IRAs, for example, and still get some tax benefits out of that. So, you know, you don't get taxed on the earnings that the CD is generating as it earns it. You only get taxed when you pull it out. And there's no required minimum distribution on a non-qualified annuity. That means money that you're just saving and setting aside.
Okay.
So,
would it be silly of me to say that I'm afraid there's some people out there who may not even understand exactly what an annuity is. Can you describe it to us? Because it's basically a guarantee.
It absolutely is a guarantee. Annuities got started years ago when you had a job that had a pension in it. When you retired, you got a paycheck.
Right.
And that paycheck was good for the rest of your life, correct?
Right.
And so sometimes you could have it also go to your wife. But when the two of you passed away, it stopped. Okay. With our products, that doesn't happen. If there's a balance left over in the account, it's going to get to your beneficiary. The government did us all a favor and put us all in control of our own products that we want to buy for retirement. And unfortunately, there's a lot of unsophisticated investors out there that really don't know what they're doing. And I don't mean meanly. I just think it's realistic that that's not their job.
I will admit, I'm one of them.
And so the reality is you need help and you need guarantees, and that's what we offer. We've been doing this for 16 years. We've had we're right at 17 now, but the fact is that you have to have guarantees in retirement. If you've got an old annuity and you're not happy with it, or you just want to make sure that it's doing the best possible job it can, come see us. If you've got an IRA or a 401k, one that you rolled over,
you want to secure it. That's why they call it Securus. We're talking about security, and that will take a whole lot of anxiety out of this process, I guarantee you. Chris, thank you so much. Thanks for being here. If you have a question for, you know the taxes are due today, you know that. Did you do your taxes? Are you okay?
I did, yeah, and I'm sick over it. You know, just, I hate to pay taxes, but...
We all do. Well, if you have a question for Chris or any of his circle of advisors, and they have some experts over there, jump on our Facebook page and message us. If you'd like to get in touch with a Securus advisor for a free consultation, you can call them at 636-720-1900 or 800-720-4252 or on the web at securemoneyplan.com. If you didn't get to write all that down, we have it all on our website.
Time now for Money Matters Monday. Are you switching jobs? First of all, congratulations, at least we hope. What about that 401k, though, that you're leaving behind at the old job? Well, Chris Shreves is the president and CEO of Securus Insurance, Financial, and Estate Planning. He is here along with Chelsea Sweeten, and they are here with ways to make sure that the money you earn and that you've been saving stays with you and hopefully builds. Good morning to the two of you. How are you?
Good morning. Good.
Hey, good morning, Matt.
I think we've all been in this spot a time or two, some of us probably more than others. You leave one job and the 401k you leave behind has $5 grand, $100 grand, $300 grand in it. Do you just sort of leave it sitting there doing whatever it's doing, or do you bring it along with you? What's your expert opinion?
Well, we always say, why leave your old 401k with your old employer? If you really look at kind of what's out there, you have everything at your fingertips if you want to move that out. You have that opportunity to do that. With our organization, we do work with a circle of advisors, of course, and we offer like a holistic planning for our clients. So our clients find great value in that because we work with not just the financial planning side of it, but we work with the tax planning, the legal, the estate planning, and all of these things at retirement really becomes so important.
Right.
At Securus, we don't charge fees. So with your 401k, I'm sure a lot of people are unaware of how much fees they're really paying in their plan, and upwards of 4% probably.
Yikes.
So
that could be enough in this kind of market to negate any earnings.
Absolutely. In a low interest rate environment, you really have to overcome those fees in order to make a profit in those accounts.
I don't know that people understand the golden opportunity really that they have when they switch jobs, because your 401k, the way it's designed, is not set up for you to be able to access easily until you reach retirement age. So switching jobs is an opportunity maybe to, your new employer is going to probably lay out their 401k and say, well, here's the advantages, here's the disadvantages, but you have other options on the table that you're possibly never going to get again, right?
You really do have other options, and sometimes you can roll the old 401k into the 401k where you're going to work at. The problem with that is you're stuck with those choices that are, you're confined into that plan. The other thing that I'd like to make clear, you're right, they do make it hard to get out of the 401ks that you're in, especially while you're working. But what I don't think most people know is they have what they call an in-service withdrawal available to most people at 59 and a half, and that gives them the ability to roll out the money that they have into their 401k now into the whole marketplace and still participate in that plan. So if they're concerned that that plan doesn't offer them everything they need for safety and future growth, we actually can help them do this in-service withdrawal and still participate in their plan that they're currently in. So it's not like they're walking away from a benefit.
And that's without being the full kind of traditional retirement age. Like
Correct.
you said, it's
Absolutely.
59 and a half.
Right.
And see, who knows these things without the circle of advisors, without a team of professionals kind of in your corner letting you know what's out there? Thank you guys very much. We really do appreciate it. Just something to think about if you've got that old 401k behind you. If you have a question for Chris or Chelsea or any of the circle of advisors over there, you can jump on our Facebook page and message us, and we'll get that information over to them. And if you'd like to get in touch with a Securus advisor yourself for a free consultation, you can call 636-720-1900 or 800-720-4252. Or check out their website, which is securemoneyplan.com. It is time now for Money Matters Monday. Do you know what a fiduciary is? Should you even care? Well, the Department of Labor says you certainly should, and so does our next guest. Chris Shreves is the president and CEO of Securus Insurance, Financial, and Estate Planning. Chris, happy Monday to you.
Happy Monday.
So the Department of Labor got involved here, which means this is a pretty big deal. There was something going on that they didn't like. Tell me what a fiduciary is and what the Department of Labor is trying to change here.
Well, I've been in business 17 years, and when we deal with our clients, we always deal in a way that it's in the client's best interest. And historically, if you did not have a Series 65 license, you were not expected to have to act in the client's best interest. For example, if you were just a regular stockbroker, you could just buy and sell and trade, essentially whatever the client wanted. But as a Series 65, you were supposed to tell them that this is not in your best interest. Well, the government has now taken that a little bit further and said anybody in the financial services business at all that deals with retirement accounts has to be a fiduciary to their client, which means that you have to act in the best interest of your client. Well, I wouldn't deal with somebody if they weren't acting in my best interest.
Seems kind of straightforward, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So, it is a big deal. The fees have gotten absolutely out of hand with regards to brokerage accounts and things of that nature. And so they are trying to get those reduced for people. And really, they just want people to get to retirement and have money to retire on, which is what we have been trying to tell people for years. You need guarantees in retirement.
Yeah, instead of being led down this road saying, sure, the money will be there, and then they get there and they realize it's all been eaten up by fees.
Correct.
So is it safe to assume then that whoever we're working with is a fiduciary, does have our best interests at heart, or is there a way do we need to check? Do we need to ask those questions?
Well, this is going to be the hard part because, let's face it, as I said to begin with, you have to trust the person that you're dealing with. Most people do not really understand the financial services world, and so they put that into somebody else's hands.
Right.
So what I would do is I would, just ask them to show you their track record and how they've done for the clients that they've historically helped. As you well know, for 17 years, not one client of ours has lost one dime, and I think that really should tell you something.
So how do you think at the end of the day these changes are going to affect the average investor? Hopefully the process now is more transparent. Hopefully they know that everybody's working for their betterment.
Well, they all should be working for their betterment. Yeah. I don't really know how they're going to police it. See, this is the problem.
Right. That's my next question. It's such a gray area. A stockbroker or an investing analyst could say, well, I thought I was making the right choices, but the market, there's no guarantee of results. How do you police that?
What they're actually going to be required to do is they're going to actually show the client several different options, and the client has to make that choice. My problem with that is if the client's making the choice, then how do they really know they're getting the best result out of their choice?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, how do they know if they didn't pick the other one, it would have been better?
Right, you show a menu of 15 items and it just confuses them. Well, thank you. I think now I kind of understand fiduciary responsibility and some of the changes that are being made, which I didn't know 5 minutes ago. If you've got a question for Chris or any of his circle of advisors, you can jump on our Facebook page and message us. We'll get that along to him. And if you'd like to get in touch with a Securus advisor for a free consultation, give them a call, 636-720-1900 or 800-720-4252, or on the website securemoneyplan.com. For our veteran friends in the audience on this Medical Monday morning, listen up. If you are a veteran or the spouse of a veteran, you may be able to qualify for a program called Aid and Attendance. Chris Shreves, the president and CEO of Securus Insurance Financial and Estate Planning, joins us this morning, along with Brian Quinn, partner with Quinn Estate Law and Elder Law, LLC. Brian, Chris, nice to have you both here this morning.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
If there's one thing I've learned doing this show for the last 5 years or so, it's that there are a lot of veteran-related benefits out there that many don't even know exist, or if they do know it exists, they don't know how to take advantage of it. So tell me a little bit about this aid and attendance. Who can benefit from it? What kind of benefit do you get from it?
Sure. So what the Veterans Aid and Attendance benefit is it's a monthly benefit that's paid tax-free to veterans and surviving spouses of veterans that have served during a period of war and have some medical issues that they're having some difficulty paying for. So oftentimes you'll see it in an in-home care situation, or maybe someone that is receiving some assisted living or nursing home level care. So oftentimes you'll see it with a lot of our senior clients out there.
So how does Quinn Estate Law and Elder Law, LLC, and Securus, how do groups like that enable people to connect to that kind of benefit if they're eligible for it?
With the VA, there's an application and qualifying process that weighs your income and also weighs what type of means you have to pay for care.
I see.
So oftentimes when our clients come into the office for the first time, you'll see that they're not quite ready, but with a little good legal planning and a good financial planning, marrying those two things together, they can really benefit a lot from our services.
Well,
so,
quite frankly, there's probably some veterans or family members of veterans out there that just don't have the capability necessarily or the access to all the information they need to fill out this kind of form. So it's always great to know that there's experts out there that can help.
Yeah, and that's why we've teamed up with Brian and their staff, because they have the ability to focus on this a little bit. And, you know, there's not a lot of attorneys that do this specific work, and so for those people out there that are in need, all they have to do is call us, and we'll set them up with an appointment. And you know, there's no charge to come in and talk to us to see if you qualify. Now, keep in mind, I think Brian will confirm this, you have to need the assistance before you can apply for it.
Right.
So
hence the income qualifications and that sort of thing too. But you did mention it's tax-free, right? Number one, that's huge. And number two, is it too general a question to ask? Can you give people a ballpark estimate what kind of benefit they may have coming?
Sure. So for surviving spouses, they pay a little bit less, but the top level for a surviving spouse would be $1,149 per month.
Wow.
And they pay over $2,000 per month to a married veteran. So usually the range is somewhere between about $1,100 and $2,100 per month. And because it's a tax-free benefit, it's direct deposited into the veteran or spouse's account. They can use it to pay for any kind of care that they need.
Wow. Excellent program. And anytime you're dealing with something federally funded like this, you don't want to foul up the application process.
Absolutely not.
So they both said, so leave it to the experts like Brian and Chris. Thank you, gentlemen, so much for coming in. We appreciate it. If you'd like to get in touch with a Securus advisor for a free consultation, maybe about the aid and attendance program or anything else, you can call 636-720-1900 or 800-720-4252. The Securus website, also very easy to navigate. Just point your browser to securemoneyplan.com. And we've got that linked up on our website, greatdaystlouis.com. Time now for Money Matters Monday. How would you like to sleep at night knowing that you're never going to lose any money on any of your investments? I know what you're thinking. That's not possible. Oh, yes, it is. Our next guest will explain. Chris Shreves is the president and CEO of Securus Insurance Financial and Estate Planning, and he is joined this morning by Mark and Deborah McDonald. Now, they know firsthand that Securus can get your finances in order. Good morning to the three of you.
good morning.
How are you?
Great.
Now, you get to talk every week, so if you don't mind, not to be rude, I'm going to jump straight over to the
Help
McDonald's.
yourself. Help yourself.
How did you, we'll talk about exactly what it is that you do with Securus in just a little bit, but how did you become aware of Securus and the services that they provide?
I'm going to defer to Deborah because she's the one that got us connected, and
Is
so
it?
from
Yeah.
there she led the charge.
Deborah, the wife's
Yes.
usually the smart
Yes,
one. So,
absolutely.
yeah, explain what
Yes,
happened.
well, it was the time that Mark was really beginning the retirement process.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, he was in retirement, and I thought we needed a plan because we'd made money through the years, been working, and we needed a plan for retirement. And it happened the timing was perfect. We received through the community college there an invitation to a training process, learning process class that was put on by Securus, and they taught us a lot about it, and we decided it was really worthwhile.
Now, Chris, I have to pick your brain for a second. How common is it? Because I'm thinking college, continuing education sort of coursework, and in walk folks that are basically on the doorstep or slightly into retirement. Is that pretty typical? And then at that moment thinking, gosh, maybe we need a plan. Is that pretty typical?
Yeah, I think most people, the problem is when they leave their job, there's really no training about what to expect when you go into retirement, and people get a little fearful. So when they find the opportunity to be able to go to a adult educational class that would teach them how to maybe manage their money at retirement and learn how to not run out, I think that's what really probably causes most people to get interested.
Mark, Deborah, do you think that was the case with you guys?
Yes, very much so.
Yeah.
And I will add that on and off through the last 5-6 years, I would attend. Deborah and I would attend. Sometimes I would just go. Sometimes she'd go to these various educational types of events, and it just didn't sound right. It just didn't have that feel. And I'm going to tell you, when I went, Deborah set us up for this. I went to these classes put on by Securus, and they truly were educational. And it opened my eyes, and I said, now I see why Deborah kept saying we need to do something with our lifetime investments. So
Listen to your wives.
And
yeah.
yep, and that led to a meeting after the educational courses over to the Securus office, and the rest of it's golden.
Well, you look very well rested, which
Well,
means
thanks.
I don't think you're laying awake at night worrying about the
No,
future of your finances. And that whole circle of advisors that Chris always talks about, I'm sure, was very beneficial for you. So
It was. After we settled that it was going to be Securus that we were going to go forward with, then I realized that we needed to look at some things from a legal standpoint and then from a tax standpoint. Deborah and I started making phone calls, but then on a second meeting that we had, it just kind of flowed at the time in terms of what they had in terms of partners and services in what they call the circle of advisors, and it was seamless. It was just one thing after the other.
That's the idea.
Yep, and it was great.
I'm glad it worked out so well for you. If you have a question, by the way, for Chris or any of that circle of advisors that we talk about, jump on our Facebook page, message us. And if you'd like to get in touch with a Securus advisor for a free consultation, you can call 636-720-1900 or 800-720-4252 or on their website, securemoneyplan.com. Thank you all very much. Welcome back. Time now for Money Matters Monday. There's a recent survey floating around from Bankrate.com that found that overall 75% of Americans have financial regrets of one type or another. 18% said not saving enough was their biggest. And then right behind that was a more specific regret, not saving enough for emergency expenses. That'll get you. Securus Vice President of Business Development, Bart Humphrey, joins us this morning. He's here to hopefully this morning make us regret-free moving forward. How are you, Bart?
Good, good.
We're talking a little bit before the show, and you told me there's another bit of information out from the St. Louis Federal Reserve that's kind of disheartening too.
Very troubling. Our own St. Louis Reserve has told us that 47% of American households would be in trouble if an unexpected $400 bill hit them.
$400 bill. So about half of American households, if an unexpected car repair, leaky roof like we talked about earlier in the show.
Those never happen.
No, of course not. The unexpected never happens. That's concerning. $400 puts a lot of people on the fence. And then we've got to talk about credit card debt across the country too.
Almost $16,000 per household. And as we spoke earlier, that means most households, or quite a few households, have more than that. Quite a few households don't have that much.
For every household that has zero, they're being offset by somebody with $32,000, $33,000 in credit card debt. Okay, so we know what the problem is. You're here to try to give us a solution. What is it that we can do to try to make our nights a little more restful?
Well, the good news is that more Americans are saving. Okay, that's good news. Bad news is we're not getting any interest on the savings. So it's one step forward, two steps backwards. We would encourage people, we preach good stewardship. So we would encourage people, make sure, even though it's painful to save, it's a lot less painful to save than it is to have that unexpected bill that would cripple you and then force you into more credit card debt. We would encourage you to save. And we want you to make sure you have money in the bank, cash on hand. Long-term savings, well, the banks don't offer anything. So we would encourage you to come see us. We'll give you a lot more return on that money for your long-term savings than you would get in a bank.
Let's talk about that. Even in these lean times, that's still true, because honestly, a good savings account, I don't want to throw out numbers because I'll get it wrong, but a good savings account at a local bank or a national bank for that matter, 1%,
Yeah,
maybe not even that.
It's very poor. So
Yeah.
it makes you feel like just putting it in your mattress
Yes,
is
it
a better
does.
solution. But there are better solutions out there. So again, we would encourage you to use your bank for your emergency money.
Right, okay.
If you're looking for long-term savings, return on your money, come see us. We'll put the banks to shame in that area.
And you know what? Even just having this conversation, I think, is going to set a lot of minds at ease. If you just sit down with a group of people that know what they're doing, that know how to handle that, at least you walk out of there thinking, well, now I have a plan and some idea of what might happen if the unexpected should take place.
It's what we do every day, and that's why we never had one complaint.
Well, we have never had one complaint, and he won't brag about it, but I will. They've never lost a cent for any of their investors, too, which how many people around town could say that? Bart, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hope you have a good week. If you have a question for Chris or Bart or any of the circle of advisors over there at Securus, jump on our Facebook page and message us. We'll get that request over to them. And if you'd like to get in touch with a Securus advisor for a free consultation, you can call them 636-720-1900 or 800-720-4252. Also, check them out online, securemoneyplan.com, guys.
It's good to get rid of that stress.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Get rid of it, and then you don't get this. You don't start losing hair in the front and all that bad
Or at least
stuff.
it happens later.
Wrinkles.
Well, that could be too,
Yes.
yeah.
Welcome back, everyone. Time now for Money Matters Monday. Have you ever invested in bank CDs? Are they the best investment for you right now, or are there better options out there? Well, Securus Vice President of Business Development, Bart Humphrey, joins us this morning to talk about this a little bit. How are you, Bart?
Doing well, thank you.
We're talking a little earlier this morning. I literally think the last time I invested in a CD, which had to be 10 to 15 years ago, you could get like 6.5% if you went in for 18 months. That's a pipe dream now. You can't hardly make anything on a CD investment.
I'm just glad to know you were investing when you were in high school.
Well, I thank you. Oh, God bless you for that. You can go. What are you doing next Monday? You want to come back again?
I'll be here.
But so people who want access to cash, because this was the beauty of the CD, was you didn't have to wait long to get to it. There was a decent return. Is there any kind of investment tool out there like that now? Or maybe I shouldn't bad talk CDs. Are they still a decent option for folks?
No, you shouldn't talk bad talk CDs. They truly do serve a purpose. First and foremost, we like them because they're safe. So we still advise our clients to go into CDs